Hey guys, Weeby News here, and today we are back with yet another video. And today I'm super excited because we were checking out security breach lore and theories. One of the reasons why I'm super duper excited for this video is because Secret of the Mimic is coming out super duper soon, so I want to try my best to catch up as much as I can to be able to play that on release date. I know I'm not going to be fully caught up because I still haven't played Help Wanted 2 and I still haven't played Into the Pit, but from what I've heard, I think I should still be able to play Secret of the Mimic first and it not be like too much of an issue. So I'm gonna go with that because man, I've been so behind for so long, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to be caught up with FNAF. I want to enjoy the current releases with you guys. But yeah, please do be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you do enjoy my videos. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this. So yeah, like always, my mods sent me some videos kind of like explaining the story of Security Breach as well as like theory or lore things that I might have missed. They did specifically say that for these videos, it's very, very theory based. So I'm going to try to take everything with like a grain of salt. I think regardless if like even none of this stuff is confirmed, it's just kind of nice to know like what's the vibe going into the new game. Like what does everybody think is going on? You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like these types of videos are really good for that. So yeah, the first one we're gonna be watching is the story and endings of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach explained by Super Horror Bro. And yeah, I'll be sure to link all of these videos in the description if you guys would like to check it out. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this.
Video, we take a look at the story and endings of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. This video will provide a quick and snappy recap of events leading up to the 6 possible story outcomes awaiting lost child Gregory, his animatronic guardian Freddy,
Oh, Freddy, I love you. He was the best boy.
and the villainous security guard turned killer bunny,
Oh, yeah.
Vanny.
I was still kind of confused about that. I was like, was that her evil twin or was that just her? I figured it probably was just her in that one ending. It just meant to be kind of like artistic, her like looking at herself on the ground or whatever. But I was wondering about that. So at least that seems to be confirmed so far.
Freddy discovers Gregory hiding inside his chest compartment, a place normally used for stowing cakes during birthday party events. This child seems to want to avoid being caught by the night guard Vanessa.
You know, now that I think about it, I don't think it was ever even really explained why Gregory like got left at the Pizzaplex in the first place. So that'd be something kind of interesting to learn. It did seem like he was like homeless in one of the endings too, which was kind of strange. I was like gonna say maybe he's homeless and he's like kind of like living here in a way, like kind of like sneaking in to use the showers and like, you know, steal merchandise for like clothes and stuff. But if that was the case, I feel like you might know the complex better, but I feel like, you know, Freddy had to like kind of teach him how to get around. So probably not the case, but just a thought.
Freddy instinctively looks out for this child, acting more like a human than a machine, covering for Gregory at every turn.
It was like he didn't seem like he was possessed by any spirits, but he did act very, very, very human. I feel like, yeah, even more human than the other animatronics. Because I don't feel like Chica, well, Roxanne, no, yeah, Roxanne did act really human too. Because I feel like Chica, you know, like she wasn't like super human acting in my opinion. She was kind of obsessed with pizza and like killing us the whole time. But I feel like Roxanne definitely showed some very like human qualities with her like insecurity that she kind of like tried to hide with her like narcissism and stuff like that. Like those all seemed very, very human and like real to me.
Unfortunately, the star animatronics Roxanne Wolf, Glamrock Chica, and Montgomery Gator, along with many of the other worker bots, have been hacked, entering their security mode. Although something is not quite right with them, they seem unhinged and bloodthirsty, seeking out trespassers and killing them on sight. But strangely, Freddy does not have this same urge to kill.
That is interesting. Why doesn't Freddy have the urge to kill? And I think I kind of partially thought maybe that it was because Freddy was possessed by like a ghost or something while the others were just like actual robots. I kind of thought that may be the case. I don't know if I ever even like really mentioned that during my playthrough, but it was definitely a thought that crossed my mind.
After failing to reach the exit on time, Gregory becomes trapped inside the Pizzaplex as lockdown protocol initiates. Forced to reunite with Freddy, the two set out to find an alternate exit. Along the way, Gregory is caught by Vanessa and discovers her twisted alter ego.
Why does she kind of look like me? Why does she got the same hairdo as me?
I'll bet you think you're real clever, Gregory. Yeah, I know your name. You're in big trouble. This is not the night to be wasting my time. So, you are going to wait right there in Lost and Found until your parents or the police arrive.
Yeah, Vanny did show up right after this.
Fun yet?
So she definitely is Vanny. That seems to be already confirmed. But it seems like maybe that one ending that I was kind of like, I thought was implying like an evil twin thing, may more so be implying that she is Vanny, but she doesn't realize she's Vanny. And that's why like her normal self was looking at herself on the ground in the Vanny costume, like confused. Because I feel like even kind of like with this exchange, her on the television, it's like she's kind of like there talking normally. Then all of a sudden Vanny pops out and is like, are you having fun yet? It doesn't really seem like she's like in control of it. You know what I mean? I don't know if she was like experimented on or like if one day, you know, she just like picked up the Vanny mask and like put it on and it like possessed her, you know what I mean, from here on out. I guess that could be the case because we did find the Vanny mask like in Help Wanted and it seemed to be a pretty big like sticking point. So maybe it's kind of like, yeah, those masks and like Lethal Company, you know what I mean? You put it on, you become possessed and you start killing people.
While Vanessa is a short-tempered security guard, Vanny is far worse. Dressing in a rabbit's costume, she dances around looking to capture children to use for the dark purposes of the sinister entity controlling her like a puppet. An entity known as Glitch Trap.
Okay.
We'll have more on this creepy character later.
So Glitch Trap is controlling her. I guess that makes sense, yeah, because Glitch Trap was in Help Wanted. And so I guess he got into the mask so he could like come out. And so then Vanessa put on the mask and then Glitch Trap was able to like use her body on the outside world after that. I think that makes sense.
Interesting side note about Vanny is that she radiates a glitching effect whenever she gets too close. Not only does this
true.
make her hard to see during
Just like Glitch Trap.
gameplay, it also prevents animatronics, including Freddy, from seeing her. This is
Okay.
why Vanessa, and by extension Vanny, are never attacked by security bots. An override is in place to prevent this.
Okay. Fucking Glitch Trap, dude. Glitch Trap is definitely William Afton, right? I think that got confirmed in the last one. It's been a little while and it's kind of confusing, especially since we like also run into, you know, William Afton's Springtrap in this one too at the end. I'm sure he'll explain it, hopefully.
Several times throughout the course of the game, and as the hours tick by, notices that Freddy and the other animatronics are becoming more and more cracked and withered.
I did notice
as if
that.
something is draining them of their power and corrupting their programming.
Yeah, I did notice that too. I was like, why are they starting to look so messed up? I thought maybe it was just because of like the battles with Gregory, you know what I mean? And I guess on Freddy's end, like the battles to protect Gregory, but it does make more sense too if like, yeah, something is going on to drain them of their life as well.
It falls to Gregory to then save Freddy as he begins to power down. Eventually, after making it to the parts and service department, Gregory manages to save Freddy and the two can continue their adventure. We also observe another conversation between Vanessa and
Oh yeah, she was like roasting him in this conversation. That made me mad.
I found him earlier and locked him up and lost and found.
That is great news. He can be returned to his parents.
He can't. Turns out there's no record of him.
Okay, so probably, yeah, is just like a homeless kid who happened to sneak in. Probably hadn't been like living there before, just like kind of happened to find this place today and was like, yeah, it seems like a pretty good place to, you know, try to get food or a shower or whatever. I can't remember if it was ever really confirmed that like Gregory just learned about the disappearing kids like while we were playing or not. Did he potentially like sneak in there to solve that mystery in the first place? You know what I mean? I think that could make sense too. Like if one of his friends died and disappeared and then that was why he broke in. The runaway ending.
The most common ending players will unlock during the game is this one. Gregory escapes through the front door of the Pizzaplex and remains hunted by Vanny for the rest of his life. Children continue to go missing, presumably being—
The missing children Vanny collected up while under Glitch Trap's control were likely used as a remnant resource to resurrect William Afton. Okay, so probably is like William Afton is like partially in Glitch Trap, or that's like, you know, part of his, it's got part of his consciousness in it or something. And he made like the Vanny mask, which possessed Vanessa, which brought Vanny to the outside world. And then, yeah, he's using Vanny to like resurrect his like actual body. I think that's probably what it is.
to bring back William Afton's Glitch Trap. The key points—
Or wait, it's a free Glitch Trap, not William Afton in the basement? That was what I was thinking. I was like, somehow it's freeing William Afton in the basement. But I guess if it's a free Glitch Trap, then it's kind of the same purpose. Anything to bring a part of Willie back.
The key point to take away from this ending, however, is the fate of Gregory. Most children would return home to their parents, but Gregory does not. Instead, he sleeps on the street.
Yeah.
But why? Earlier in the game, Vanessa mentions to Freddy that there is no record of Gregory on their system, which means he did not enter the mall as a guest. Instead, he snuck in illegally.
Yeah.
Hence why at the beginning of the game, he was so desperate to avoid security.
Okay, makes sense.
Gregory doesn't have a home or parents of his own. He was a homeless orphan who
Aw,
entered
that's
the
sad.
Pizzaplex to escape the cruel outside world and get to be a kid for a little
Aww.
while.
Aw, that's so sad, actually. Aw. It's so sad he had to go through all this trauma when he was like, you know, just wanting like a fun night to finally be a kid. Oh, that's so depressing. I'm sorry, Gregory, for calling you a little shit so much. Car escape ending. Oh, this one was kind of goofy. I like this one.
The second ending shows Gregory and Freddy escaping through a loading bay
Zbrr.
and driving off in a company van. Freddy said he
He
connects
looks so crazy. Yeah, the crazy eyes, Gregory.
outside of the Pizzaplex as he needs access to the recharge stations dotted about the building to stay alive. This ending, while silly, gives us another key piece to tie into the true ending. We see
Just
that, with
jump-started him.
additional power, Freddy can in fact survive outside of the Pizzaplex.
Aw. That was the best ending, man. Freaking Gregory gets a dad. Freddy gets to stay alive. Nothing but respect for my canon ending. The Afton ending.
The Afton ending is by far the most elaborate to unlock. Players are required to brave the endgame with no option to save and to fully upgrade Freddy.
Thank God I didn't have to go through that. I was watching like Markiplier play it and I was like, Jesus Christ. That would have been really rough if I tried that. It was already rough with the save function, so I was like, dude, if I had to go through that whole area with no save, oh, that would be so bad. I feel like there was one time he died just because of like a glitch or something too. I was like, I would have been livid. Livid.
Taking a one-way trip down a barely functional elevator shaft, Gregory and Freddy find themselves in a cavernous environment, where the ruins of an old pizzeria are located.
Oh, yeah.
This is the pizzeria from Five Nights at Freddy's 6.
Yep.
The building Fazbear founder
Oh, that
Henry
was so
Emily lured Michael Afton, his father William, and the other haunted animatronics containing the remnants of William's child victims before burning it to the ground.
That was so cool to like kind of walk in there and slowly realize like this place looks familiar. Like I think I built this place in Pizza Sim.
In the following game, FNAF Help Wanted, a new malicious character appeared in the form of Green Rabbit Glitchtrap. It is my belief that after being doomed to an eternity in animatronic hell, as seen in Ultimate Custom Night, Afton found a way to escape when circuit board.
How the fuck did he escape hell? Are you kidding me? He just said, no, I'm not doing that no more. Hopped out. Oh my god, just all of his apologist fangirls like me just going down there and slowly pulling him up from hell. No, you don't get it. Like, really, let's let him come back. Let's give him a second chance.
When circuit boards from the animatronics he haunted, such as Springtrap, were scanned into the game code for Help Wanted
Okay, so that brought him back to life when they scanned the game code.
to speed up development.
The game code had his ghost in it, and when they like scanned it, it like resurrected him basically.
Afton's remnant or soul residue remained on these parts, and so he found a way to escape his hell and transfer into a digital form.
This mofo cannot stay dead. I'm crying.
From here, he influenced various beta testers into assisting his return to a physical form, eventually discovering the perfect candidate in Vanessa. So Vanessa and Vanny are one and the same. The Vanny side of her persona controlled by Glitchtrap, and the Vanessa side free-willed but scared of disobeying her puppet master.
Okay, so she knows she's like possessed and stuff, but she's too scared to like do anything about it. Damn, so she's really just like cool with leading Glitchtrap to like Gregory and stuff. Like, it's kind of messed up, Vanessa. Jesus. Feel like I've lost a lot of sympathy for Vanessa then, because I was kind of convinced that, yeah, she at the very least didn't know what was going on, but if she does know like fully what's going on, then yeah, she's literally just like leading Vanny to, you know, Gregory to like, you know, take in like kill essentially to like empower Glitchtrap. That's really messed up.
Was where William died. It is where his soul is strongest and easiest to transfer from a digital state to a physical one.
Okay, so it is Glitch Trap going to his like old body.
Glitchtrap has been using Vanessa to hack Fazbear Entertainment's security protocols, explaining why the animatronics turned into killing machines.
The techs have been struggling to fix some serious glitches with the robots.
Ah, what the hell? We got a voice note from her therapist. She is somebody that would need therapy for sure. But like I said, I'm just like, dang, dude, I can't imagine, like, I don't know, just going through life sacrificing children to this like evil being and not really like doing anything to stop it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, girl. Like, bad look. It's a real bad look. I'm gonna be giving you a very graceful side eye from here on out.
The techs have been struggling to fix some serious glitches with the robots. I'm not sure what exactly is wrong, except that it's making the robots more eerie than entertaining. Apparently, the glitch extended beyond the robots. It
Oh,
went
wow.
system-wide. It began infecting all the machines, and when the techs traced the glitch back to its origin, it led them to you.
In
Guilty.
fact, Freddy comments how he was brought down into the depths of the old pizzeria with his friends, where they were presumably infected by the Glitchtrap virus.
Oh, they're
just
infected too. I was like, definitely all those stupid little like cleaner bots were infected because they would attack us as well. Or at least like scream when they saw us. But okay, even these guys, dang.
his friends, where they were presumably infected by the Glitchtrap virus. Just like Vanessa, they fell under his control.
I have been here before. She brought me here.
Vanessa.
I found myself for the first time when I cleared the path. I did not want to, but I had no choice. Now I have a choice. I have changed. My friends are here. They are so angry, confused.
Aw, poor Freddy. Okay, so yeah, Glitchtrap possessed him to like dig a hole back down here to free himself, basically. Makes sense.
Glitchtrap now sucks the power from these animatronics, explaining their withered state throughout the game.
Okay, yeah.
But more than this, we get the sense that Freddy takes William Afton's resurrection personally.
Stop him.
What was that?
Yeah, I figured he wanted to get revenge for his friends, you know, because that's what he was talking about before. Like, my friends are down here confused and angry. And he's also, you know, made Freddy suffer himself. So I think he's justified, you know?
Now this is all theory discussion,
Okay.
but my best interpretation of events at this time is that Freddy also contains a resurrected human soul. That of William Afton's son,
Yeah.
Michael.
I had a
Michael
feeling.
Afton-
I had a feeling that was where this was going. I'm maybe. I guess I'll kind of see maybe like what more they say to like justify it. I could definitely see that being the case. It's like who else is gonna come back and like help us, you know what I mean, besides Michael. But yeah, I could see it.
Afton also perished in the fire at this pizzeria.
Because yeah, his soul is literally here too. He was always like, you know, the main character in all the other games trying to stop Springtrap. So, and then I guess it could explain even more so like why he holds such a strong vendetta, even like past like his friends suffering and, you know, everything Springtrap's doing just right now. Like he might not remember his history with Springtrap at the moment, but like it's still there. So he still feels really passionately because of that. So yeah, I could see that being the case.
We know Fazbear Entertainment frequently cuts corners and reuses parts from older animatronics.
They gotta stop doing that. After this game, surely they will learn their lesson at that point, right? Right?
There is a decent possibility that some of these parts, much like the circuit board scanned for help wanted, were reused from this old location before the new one, the Megaplex, was
Oh,
built
that was for
over
the
it,
Pizzaplex.
allowing
Oh my god. I was wondering what the relevance of that scene was.
allowing Michael's consciousness to return when Freddy was rebooted after the Glitchtrap hack. This explains why he is
okay.
able to hold off his father's attempts to hack him during the
Dang.
climactic boss fight. It's father versus son all over again.
Okay. I think they're cooking. I think this definitely could be the case.
Burning Glitchtrap's resurrected William Afton several times, the Pizzaplex explodes, and the child souls trapped inside the scrap animatronics once
Yeah. It started killing him. Oh yeah, that was beautiful. He'll be back though. I mean, this man literally escaped hell, so it's like I'm sure I'll see you next game, buddy.
dragging him back to the animatronic hell he deserves. William may always come back, but he rarely manages to stay for very long.
The fire ending. Okay, I'm kind of surprised we did the William Afton ending before the fire ending. Although this does have that weird part with Vanessa in it.
The fire ending is a curious one. In this ending, we see Freddy and Gregory escaping the Pizzaplex after they light a fire to burn it to the ground. From the way Freddy says it's time to end this,
that would be like Michael remembering like how awful Fazbear Entertainment is in this moment, and that's why he decided to burn it to the ground. Because it did feel like it was kind of extreme that he wanted to just like burn the place to the ground like so suddenly, you know?
Get more confirmation that he has a very aware, very human side to him.
Yeah.
One who seeks to stop Fazbear Entertainment from harming anyone else.
That does make sense.
During their escape, Vanny grabs Gregory, and as Freddy rushes over to help, both are sent careening over the rooftop, hitting the floor and dying on impact. Gregory unmasks Vanny, and it is revealed that, yes, she is Vanessa.
Yep.
However, a post-credit sequence reveals Vanessa to be seemingly alive and well, looking down sorrowfully on the body of a person that looks just like her.
Yeah.
So, twins, right? Well, my first reaction...
No. No. I feel roasted. I mean, to be fair, I do feel like that is like the most obvious explanation, you know what I mean?
But if we take into account our previous discussion of how souls become tied to the location they died in, then this ending instead serves as symbolism.
Yeah.
It is simply saying that Vanessa was never saved from Glitchtrap's control, and so once Vanny dies, her soul remains forever restless and trapped inside the Mega Pizzaplex, leading further evidence to our Afton family resurrection theory.
Oh, so that was like her spirit that got trapped at the Pizzaplex afterwards. Honestly, girl, you kind of deserve that. It's like, you're not as bad as William, but I mean, that's a pretty low freaking bar. If you're like allowing them to like kidnap and kill children, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't really have much sympathy for you, girl. This ending is symbolic and shows us that as Vanessa was never freed from Glitchtrap's control, her soul remained tethered to the Pizzaplex. Vanessa was never freed from Glitchtrap's control, but he said earlier that she does have free will, right? I'm gonna make sure I'm roasting you correctly. Yeah. Vanny controlled by Glitchtrap, Vanessa is free-willed but scared to obey. So wait, was she given free will or was she controlled the whole time? I'm a little confused now. Because if she was controlled the whole time by Glitchtrap, then yes, I do have like sympathy for her. And that sucks getting stuck at the Pizzaplex too after all of that. But yeah, I was like, if she did have free will and like chose to stay there out of fear, then the sympathy for me is not going to happen. But we'll see. This could all just be kind of like theoretical at this point anyway. So like we might find out in the new game or like another game, but just wanted to kind of share my opinion on both scenarios since I'm you know, a little confused on what's going on with her. The bad Vanny ending.
There isn't too much to say about the bad Vanny ending. During their trip through Phaser Blast, Gregory and Freddy discover a secret room near a catwalk above the arena. This is where Vanessa hid away and secretly hacked Fazbear's systems. Freddy, who has been attacked and dismantled by Vanny's rogue security bots, manages to guide Gregory to the override controls, turning the bots back on their master. This leads to Vanny's gruesome demise as she is ripped limb from limb by her own weaponized robots. We can gain information from this ending, however. Firstly, it confirms that yes, Vanny was responsible for hacking into the animatronics and causing them to go rogue. And secondly, a newspaper article states that despite the mess, Fazbear Entertainment once again plans to reopen in the future.
Just like William Afton, Fazbear Entertainment always comes back, baby. The good Vanny ending.
The final ending is what most would refer to as Security Breach's true closure. To unlock it, we must save Vanessa from her Vanny state, and to do this, we need to seek out and complete all 3 Princess Quest arcade machines. These pixel art themed video games originated from the mobile version of FNAF Help Wanted. Staff seem confused as to why this game was ever ported to arcade cabinets, and even more confused as to the strange behaviour these cabinets exhibit, refusing to work unless played in order and never turning off even when unplugged from a power source.
Oh Jesus, that's creepy.
They seem almost paranormal, haunted. And, well, that's because they are.
Yeah, it's like, that do be kind of how it works in this universe, you know?
It is in fact Vanessa's digital prison, one created to hold her by Glitchtrap after he possessed her while she worked as a beta tester for Fazbear's gaming division testing Help Wanted.
Okay. That explains it. So Vanessa did not have any free will, actually, and was just being controlled by Glitchtrap the whole time. So I guess Glitchtrap was just like pretending to be her when she was like in her uniform and like normal attire, like looking for Gregory throughout the compound, and then just wanted to dress up as Vanny, you know, to serve, to slay. I do feel like Glitchtrap was like feeling himself when he was dressed up as Vanny, because I was a little bit like, why is she always kind of like popping her butt when she's like pressing the button and stuff, you know? I'm like, okay, queen. You know, you're evil, you're hot, you're feeling yourself. Like, okay, we see it. Slay. But now thinking about it, it's like, if that was a Glitchtrap inside of her the whole time, then like, does that mean that's actually William Afton, like feeling himself inside of Vanessa's body? You know? Like working it and kind of like posing and slaying and serving. You go, William, you know, you serve.
If Gregory finds and completes each of the Princess Quest minigames in order, he frees Vanessa of her digital prison and allows her to break free of her Vanny persona.
Okay.
This relinquishing the control Glitchtrap has over her mind.
Okay.
Now able to control her own actions once more, Vanessa's good side takes over once more, and she leaves the Pizzaplex with Gregory and the still functional Freddy head.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about the Freddy head.
Engineering skills she learnt as Glitchtrap's disciple, it stands to reason Vanessa would be able to find a way to rebuild Freddy eventually. Now if we bring all of these ending pieces together...
Yeah, I did remember them having ice cream at the end together. Oh my goodness, she has a little Freddy or like a teddy bear lollipop too. That's cute, I just noticed that. But yay, she could rebuild Freddy. That'd be exciting. Okay, I'm glad she's good, because I was really confused for a second on like what was going on with her character. But I'm glad she's on our side, and yeah, she was just completely a victim in this situation.
Gregory, once a homeless orphan child, now has a mother figure in Vanessa, who he has freed from Glitchtrap's control. They were both alone, but now have each other.
Aw, that's nice.
Likewise, Freddy,
I wonder what happened to Vanessa's family.
who believed he could never leave the Pizzaplex, discovers he actually can, using other power sources to sustain him. William Afton's remains remain locked below the Pizzaplex, trapped with his past demons, the other haunted animatronics. But his son Michael has found peace with a child he finally did manage to protect.
Aww, yay! Oh, that's so wholesome, actually. Aw, I hope that theory is true. Because then that means that, like, you know, Michael was finally able to, like, prevent a murder from happening rather than just, like, trying to avenge them. You know what I mean? That's adorable. That makes Gregory and Freddy's relationship, like, even more wholesome. You know what I mean? I love that. So yeah, moving on, we're going to check out a lore video on Security Breach Ruin, also by Super Horror Bro.
It seems several years have passed since the events of Security Breach, and Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex has been long abandoned and grown into a state of ruin. Food rots, graffiti-covered walls decay,
So gross.
and the entire building has been condemned. One fateful evening, a young girl named Cassie is called to the ruins of a Pizzaplex by her friend Gregory.
Kind of forgot about that part. She was actually called there, so I'm assuming that was probably Glitchtrap. No, actually, it was Mimic pretending to be Gregory, right? Because that was who she found at the bottom. Is Mimic also related to William Afton? And it's just called Mimic because, like, I don't know, Afton possessed a new animatronic that just so happens to have the ability to, like, mimic other people. I don't know. I feel like in this game, I'm just always going to assume whatever we're up against, it's William Afton somehow. He's always there. He's everywhere. He's never gonna die. I think that's basically always gonna be my theory at this point.
A fast wrench. It's just like my dad's.
It seems Cassie's father is an employee of Fazbear Entertainment,
Oh, okay. Her dad
working
works
as an
there.
engineer.
Okay, so she's not an orphan. I wonder how they met then.
This could hint at Cassie or her father being a protagonist in the upcoming VR game Help Wanted 2, as we can see from its trailer that the hack points the wrench can be used on appear in that game too.
Oh, interesting.
Cassie is soon attacked by the withered endo of Monty Gator, and startled plunges into the sewer where she is then washed into the ruins of Monty Golf. Here she encounters a servobot who holds out a very familiar mask for her to take.
Oh, he's even got bunny ears too.
Is the very mask that once controlled
Oh,
Vanessa in her
Jesus.
Vanny form, while
Oh, yeah, we did put that thing on, didn't we? Would Cassie be screwed then, actually, now that I think about it? Like, putting that thing on? Because I was kind of assuming that was what happened to Vanessa. She, like, put it on and then became possessed by him, you know what I mean? See, I kind of wonder if, like, the same thing would happen to Cassie, like, even if she did survive, you know?
However, there is a risk to wearing this mask. Prolonged usage of the device spawns in a Bonnie-like apparition known only as the Entity. This
Okay.
ominous ghost in the machine feels somewhat similar to previous FNAF villain Glitchtrap, and
Okay,
attempts
yeah.
to stop Cassie as she moves through the Pizzaplex and shut down security systems that keep the building in lockdown.
Okay, it probably is. Like, if you leave it on for too long, then Glitchtrap possesses you or something like that. That's like those endings you get when you, wear it for too long.
Call in nearby animatronics and use them to hunt the poor girl as she searches for her missing friend. However, these animatronics don't seem to enjoy being controlled in this way and wish to be free.
Yeah.
This is seen in an early cutscene as the Eclipse animatronic fights to escape said control.
Yeah.
I am trapped in a gap! Reboot! Reboot! We need to be whole!
Yeah, I
You
feel
want
bad
me
for
to reboot
Sun.
you? With this?
Cassie is able to use her newly acquired Faz Wrench to free certain animatronics from their traumatized state.
Yeah.
She
Oh my
also
goodness.
comes across servo
He's so cute once he gets saved again.
She also comes across servobots throughout her adventure that are experiencing lingering AR trauma as a result of this antivirus program.
Oh.
She helps these out by deactivating them.
Oh. So I guess I was helping them by killing them? I felt so guilty in the game whenever I accidentally deactivated them. But it was actually just getting rid of the glitch trap inside of them. God bless.
Helpy and Gregory are sometimes able to intervene and banish the entity for short spells by activating a jammer signal in the Vanny network.
Yeah, it does seem like he's trying to possess us, doesn't he? With the way he like approaches us too. So that probably is the case. That yeah, it's like if you wear the mask for too long, then you get possessed by glitch trap. That's probably what Vanessa did.
The entity uses a trick of its own to counteract this. It activates a device known as the AR inhibitor to lock Cassie in or out of the network, and prevent her from either equipping or de-equipping the mask, depending on the situation.
That bunny's so chatted out. I can't get over it. He's such a Chad chin. I feel like he's like mocking me, especially that one where he gets like closer and closer, like.
In order to reach Gregory in the depths of Roxy Raceway, Cassie must travel through the ruined Pizzaplex and disable all of the security nodes. These are always guarded both by the mysterious entity and the ruined animatronics it commands. Cassie encounters ruined versions of Chica, Monty, Roxy, the Music Men, and even a
So gross.
headless Glamrock Freddy during her quest.
Oh, okay, thank God. Yeah, so headless Glamrock Freddy is just like a possessed version of like his body. It's not actual like Freddy, since Freddy or like the, I guess, ghost of Michael Afton probably is in the head. The father Glamrock Freddy that we all came to know and love is with Gregory safe, and then the body here is just like a possessed, like the possessed leftovers of his body essentially. Oh, thank God. That scared me when I saw it in there. I was like, no, Freddy! Anybody but you, bestie. Part 4, the mimic. Yes, this is what I'm waiting for. I want to know what is up with this thing.
Cassie, still mourning the death of her friend Roxy, travels down the
Oh,
elevator
yeah,
and
she was
into
crying.
the
That was
sinkhole where
horrible.
the ruins of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place
Broke my heart, man. Like walking down there with like Cassie crying. Ugh.
makes her way through a series of caves until she reaches the area where the burn trap ending took place during the events of Security Breach. Here she comes across one of the diner's old animatronic mascots, Candy Cadet, who tells her a cryptic story about a monster able to mimic the actions of others.
And now I will tell you a story about a mother and her little boy who lived alone in a cabin in the dark woods.
I think I remember the comments saying I was overthinking the story. That it was really just kind of meant to like describe what the mimic does and not actually like some deep lore about like the mimic's like past or whatever.
Cassie reaches the depths of the facility beneath the diner, and here discovers the origin of the rabbit-like entity that has been stalking her. It exists as a security AI known as MXES.
Okay.
Cassie shuts down the AI and banishes the entity for good. She then hears Gregory calling from behind a freshly sealed wall of.
So he wasn't Glitch Trap? Just like a security program inside the mask that like William or like Vanny made, I guess? Will we learn more about like what exactly MXES is? You know what I mean? It just kind of like, oh yeah, it was MXES. Anyways, I was like, what is that? I would like to know.
Cassie hacks a nearby forklift truck, which then breaks through the wall and allows her to locate her missing friend. However, after dropping into the adjacent room, Cassie comes to a horrifying realization. The voice guiding her this entire time has not been Gregory at all, but rather a horrifying artificial intelligence known as the Mimic.
Ugh, those eyes, dude.
You
So creepy.
You saved me. Gregory?
Oh yeah, it changed to her voice for a second. Interesting. Ooh. Oh no, are we gonna hear Cassie's voice in a future game? But it's actually be the Mimic pretending to be her? Probably. Because then I feel like, you know, it'd be like, oh, maybe Cassie did survive like the elevator fall, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's the Mimic. You're gonna kind of go back and forth with it. So we probably will hear her again.
The Mimic is an animatronic creation which evolved from an artificial intelligence anomaly. We'll speak more about this at the end of the video.
Okay.
But this creature was the one discussed during Candy Cadet's story, and is able to mimic anything the AI comes into contact with.
Okay.
In this case, Gregory's voice.
So Gregory did come into contact with the Mimic at some point. I was like, was that in Security Breach? Or like, was it some other time that we didn't see yet?
Roxanne Wolf suddenly emerges from the shadows,
Oh yeah, Roxy!
reactivating after Cassie shut down the security system. She begins to fight the Mimic, allowing Cassie to flee, who is then contacted by the real Gregory, who confirms she was tricked and promises to help
Gregory,
her escape.
dude. It's like real Gregory was no better than Mimic, dude. Freaking leading us to our death. Secret endings.
At the very end of the game, if we ignore Gregory's instructions
The trippy
after the
one.
second branching path during the cavern chase sequence, then we come across a glitching cutout
This one was
taken
weird.
from Fredbear's family diner. By equipping the Vanny mask, Cassie is able to leap inside this cutout, and an
Oh,
illusionary
yeah, Vanessa's there,
ending
too.
takes place.
I don't know if I really noticed her before. Yeah, it's really like that one ending, the true ending from the previous game.
It seems this ending is one of the Mimic's VR simulations, luring Cassie into a false prison much in the same way it did with Vanessa when trapping her mind inside Princess Quest.
Okay. Does that mean the Mimic is also a part of Glitch Trap? I mean, that does make the most sense, but I feel like this is kind of the first time they've really like implied that exactly or like mentioned it.
Next up, we have the Scoop Room ending, a secret Easter egg ending that can be unlocked by
I don't know if I got
locating
this one.
4 out-of-bounds cameras while using the portable security systems, and then using these cameras to unlock 4 previously sealed doorways during the final chase sequence. This time, when we meet the Mimic, we notice its appearance has changed.
Ooh.
The Mimic's endo now
Ugh.
housed within a mangled mascot suit.
What the hell?
Around the room the Mimic appears to us in, we can in fact see a range of other mascot costumes,
Interesting.
which it seems to have borrowed pieces from.
Huh. Look like they're from like another pizza diner or something, you know what I mean? Like clown, you know, elephant guy. He looks like he would also, I don't know, play banjo on a stage at like a different diner or something. Interesting.
Costumes, which it seems to have borrowed pieces from. During the
Oh, it's like from all of them. Oh. So yeah, it's like they took parts of like all the different costumes and like stitched together this abomination. Like, dude, couldn't you have just like chosen your favorite and just worn that one? Why'd you have to like combine them all and make them even more horrifying looking?
endo now housed within a mangled mascot suit.
It's a little sad though. I feel like they just kind of want to look like cute, but well, they might just be trying to look cute to like lure children or something to their deaths. I guess I shouldn't feel too bad. They're probably William Afton secretly anyways.
During the chase, instead of heading to the elevator, we can now enter through a previously locked doorway and trap the Mimic in the scooping room. This room is reminiscent to the one seen during the ending of FNAF's sister location.
Yep.
The scooper latches
Interesting.
onto the Mimic and scoops out its endo, leaving the suit lifeless on the floor.
For the best though. For the best. This is a much better ending than the one where Gregory kills me. Ugh. So freaky looking. I like, why can't that be the canon ending, man? I feel so bad for Cassie.
Now we've looked at each alternate ending, let us turn our attention to the default ending. In this ending, Cassie follows Gregory's instructions over the walkie-talkie, and is led to a service elevator where she is able to escape the clutches of the Mimic, with the twisted creature losing its arm in the process. However, Gregory tells Cassie he cannot allow the Mimic to escape, and so plunges her further into the depths of the sinkhole.
Yeah.
The Nexus security program was designed
This fucking
to keep it
kid,
hidden,
dude.
but you shut down the security, and now it's free.
Oh, the
But you
MXES.
shut down. The Nexus security program was designed to keep it hidden.
Oh,
But
okay.
you shut down the security, and now it's free.
Okay, so the MXES security was the Chad Bunny guy who was made in order to keep the Mimic down there. But then we destroyed it thinking it was evil, but it was actually good because it was keeping the Mimic hidden. And then, yeah, that was why Gregory destroyed us. Okay. I was like, it's all starting to connect now. I knew Gregory killed us because he wanted to make sure like the Mimic couldn't get out or something, but I couldn't remember how that tied with like the Chad Cyber Bunny, you know?
Oh, you did it for me. To save me. But we can't risk being followed. I'm sorry.
Gregory? No!
Oh, so messed up. Poor Cassie. Like, dude, Michael finally saves a child before William Afton can kill them, and then that child goes on to kill another child. My man cannot catch a break. Allegedly, you know, if Freddy Fazbear is actually Michael, but I am going with that theory for now.
It seems the friend Gregory mentions is in fact Vanessa,
Okay.
the Pizzaplex's ex-security guard and previous victim of Glitch Trap. As we know, Vanessa gained advanced knowledge of the Pizzaplex security systems while under Glitch Trap's influence.
Okay, so she made the MXES to like keep Mimic and Glitch Trap and all that stuff down there.
Or it stands to reason that she retained this knowledge when freed from its grasp. And so, the Bonnie-like entity that stalks Cassie through the game and tries to stop her at every turn from reaching the Mimic is almost certainly a form of Vanessa-programmed security AI.
Okay. Is Vanessa a furry? Is that why she made the MXES system so hot? She just had to, you know, give him the Chad shin and kind of make him look like buff a little bit. I see you, girl. I see you.
Ironically designed in the form of a heroic rabbit, a big middle finger to the entity that once controlled her with
That's
a rabbit-themed mask, while itself taking on a rabbit form.
Okay.
This AI, known as MXES, was created to keep the Mimic locked up tight.
Okay, interesting. So that's why she chose Bunny. But again, why did she make him so like, you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, with the Mimic's guidance, Cassie overcame formidable odds and managed to shut down Vanessa's security protocol, freeing the Mimic from its prison behind a concrete wall deep below the Pizzaplex. But the story goes deeper still, as you may be asking, well, what about Glitch Trap?
Yeah, literally.
Well, again, this is just a theory, but based on evidence now
Okay.
at hand, it seems the Mimic and Glitch Trap are one and the same.
Okay. That was kind of what I figured, but it's nice to hear them confirm it.
The Mimic is an AI anomaly that
Okay.
is able to, as the name suggests, mimic its surroundings. It constantly learns and evolves.
Okay, so it's not William Afton possessed at all? Are we actually gonna get a villain that's not possessed by William Afton somehow? Well, you know, it's like Glitch Trap is kind of possessed by William Afton, and then Glitch Trap and the Mimic are the same, right? Unless Glitch Trap isn't possessed by William Afton, but no, we definitely got confirmation, I feel like, that is the case from, like, Help Wanted.
The Mimic is an AI anomaly that is able to, as the name suggests, mimic its surroundings.
But then it's like they refer to the Mimic as, like, an AI anomaly, which to me kind of implies that there's no ghost possessing it at all. Because especially with, like, the way the Mimic works, it seems like it just kind of, like, you know, takes in its surroundings and, like, kind of copies, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just going to keep copying until it kind of like creates its own unique personality, essentially. So that's what makes me think it's not possessed by a ghost. But I feel like because of its origins being, you know, Glitch Trap or coming from Glitch Trap definitely did seem like it was, you know, William Afton's ghost. So I don't know. I'm going to keep watching. I'm still a little confused.
The Mimic was born from VR-themed video game Help Wanted. In that game, we learn from a selection of secret audio logs that Fazbear Entertainment cut corners during development by scanning in circuit boards from the remains
Okay,
of
we might
real-life
explain it here.
animatronics taken from various Fazbear pizzerias. One of these belonged to Springtrap and
Fucking
housed the
dumbasses,
digital
dude.
data.
Why would you scan Springtrap into your game? Like, wouldn't you at least notice the animatronic has like freaking guts on it? Why wasn't somebody just like, I don't know, boss, like maybe we should just skip this one and like scan Chica twice, you know what I mean? Like, come on!
One of these belonged to Springtrap and housed the digital data of murderous madman William Afton. The anomaly was influenced by Afton's crimes and quickly mimicked his behavior.
Okay.
This led to the creation of a mimic's first form as Ghost in the Machine Glitch Trap.
Okay. So it is just AI that's influenced by William Afton's murder because it got like the data of like who William Afton was, and they were like, that looks dope. I kind of want to be like that. I guess in their mind too, they might be like, oh, that's dad, that's papa. Like, I need to also start murdering children so I can be just like daddy one day. And I mean, William Afton is daddy, if you know what I mean.
The mimic used Afton's design knowledge to create the Vanny mask, which it could then talk to and control Vanessa while wearing. It uses this very same tactic to influence the actions of Cassie and use her to free it once more. After Vanessa took a job at the newly built Mega Pizzaplex, she, as Vanny, infiltrated its systems and uploaded the mimic's malicious code.
See, look at how much, okay, aw man, if that's the case, that means it wasn't William Afton feeling himself in the Vanny costume. It was just the mimic feeling themselves in the Vanny costume. That makes me sad. Because I really like the idea of William Afton shaking his little booty in his Vanny form. Oh, that would have been so funny. Dang. Such a tragedy.
At this point, the mimic was then able to take control of various systems and animatronics, as well as uploading itself into a physical form. Its code now living inside the endo we encounter at the end of the game. What makes this mimic so dangerous is its ability to copy data from pretty much anything and then generate a very convincing copy using artificial intelligence algorithms.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense why Gregory and them wanted to stay like locked down there where it can't interact with anything else, because yeah, if it got lit out, then that would be very bad.
The reason the mimic acquired so much information about Gregory and found contact details for Cassie is because it managed to keep hold of Gregory's backpack.
Oh, dang.
This backpack can be found right beside its prison, and is the only real way I can think to explain how it was able to contact Cassie in the first place.
Very, very resourceful. I guess that is kind of the scary thing about AI. It can just like keep learning and learning and learning and getting like more powerful and more knowledgeable, you know?
It seems Vanessa warned him of just how dangerous the mimic is, and how devastating it would be if the malware ever reached the outside world again. And so he made the painful decision to keep Cassie locked away with it in the depths of the Pizzaplex. A sacrifice he was told he needed to make in order to ensure the safety of many others.
So sad.
Although we must consider a second possibility, that Gregory was cut off mid-sentence and the mimic intervened, dropping the elevator and tricking Cassie into believing it was her friend's decision.
Oh, that's freaky. That is the creepy thing about the mimic's ability, isn't it? That kind of makes you doubt everything unless you're like right there looking at the person like talking to you. God, if it did get more powerful and it was actually able to like mimic the like appearance of people and stuff too, that would make it way more confusing too. Ooh, that is a good setup for like a horror game or like for future games too. Like you can be hanging out with Gregory in the flesh, but then all of a sudden fucking transforms into the mimic, and then it's like you don't know who you can trust, sort of thing.
We do hear the radio system make a suspicious sound, as if the speaker is changing.
The Nexus security program was designed to keep it hidden, but you shut down the security, and now it's free.
Oh.
It's not your fault. I know you did it for me. It's not your fault.
Interesting.
I know you did it for
Oh man, have I been roasting you for no reason, Gregory?
to save me. But we can't risk being followed.
With the mimic and Gregory sounding identical, it's impossible to know for sure.
I do kind of prefer the idea of it being Gregory rather than the mimic. I just think it's a more interesting idea and like concept, you know what I mean? Like the good guy doing something bad for like the greater good is a lot more interesting than just like, oh, it was the villain again. They were doing, you know, evil stuff like they do. So I do prefer the idea of it being Gregory, but it is kind of impossible to know, I feel like.
However, it seems as though all hope may not be lost, as Roxanne Wolf makes contact with Cassie once more, and the two are then set to continue their adventure in a future game.
Oh yeah, she comes at the end. I don't know, dude. I just am not convinced that Cassie survived that. That looked bad. I would love it if she survived, you know, and like her and Roxy get to continue and go on adventures and stuff, but it looked really bad. So I don't know. I feel like if I see Cassie or if I like hear her voice or something, I'm going to be split on whether or not it is really her or if it's just a mimic, like pretending to be her. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just going to be really hard for me to like just completely go hopium mode and be like, yeah, Cassie survived and her and Roxy are hanging out right now. Oh man, I'd love it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just hard for me to really accept that as like a for real conclusion. Okay, so now I'm gonna look at secrets and Easter eggs for Ruin. And this was uploaded by Baby Zone, so shout out to them. I think I do kind of remember this area. Is this Princess? Oh, Chica's feeding frenzy. That's what it was. Oh, you can repair her voice box? Oh my gosh. That's kind of cool.
Am I really doing this?
Is right.
Ew. Gross.
Like, really, player? Are you sure?
That should do it.
At least her trash sack fell out, so happy ending, I guess. Oh,
Gregory.
whoa.
It's a camera. Yes, it is. Hey.
Oh.
She's wearing my mask.
Oh, wow, she actually sees Vanny in this? That's cool. I don't think I ever came here. What the? Bonnie! Oh my god, you can find Bonnie! Oh, can you fix him? Oh, Bonnie! He's dressed up as like a freaking 80s workout instructor. Oh man, I missed you, buddy. I guess if you deactivate all of these, maybe it brings him back. Bonnie! He dies! Is that it? Oh, we don't get to see any more? We don't get to see him move around or anything? Shad. Yeah, that was cool. Very interesting. It was so nice to see Bonnie. It was like, I've been looking for him this whole time. I hope he appears in a future game at least. Okay, next up is the secrets and Easter eggs of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach by Super Horror Bros. So maybe just more Easter eggs. I'll probably just cut out anything that isn't too exciting, you know what I mean? And just leave in stuff that I have big reactions to.
Speaking of throwbacks to previous games, Security Breach also features a sister location Easter egg, and within this room, many other secrets are also held.
This one.
To access this room, we must travel down the service
weird.
tunnel where we first encounter Monty near the beginning of the game, and head down the stairs at the far end of the corridor. Initially, it seems we hit a dead end. However, upon whipping out our camera and taking a photograph of the wall, a tiny entranceway flashes into existence.
That's so
this
funny.
area is themed around the after-hours living room Michael Afton unwound in while watching those cryptic TV shows. However, this time the show is a little different, featuring a promotional Security Breach cartoon.
He wasn't actually living here though, right? It's like, I wouldn't think so. I feel like this is probably just an Easter egg.
This show was used to market the game pre-release, but why does it appear on the television in place of the sitcom seen in sister location? For the answer to that question, we move on to our next secret.
Breaking the code.
Look to the far wall within this room and we see there is a strange cipher scrawled across its surface. Initially, this pattern makes no sense and seems unbreakable. That is, until it was discovered those promotional cartoon episodes were the key to deciphering a secret message locked behind these triangular glyphs.
There's always so much thought put into like the Easter eggs and secret messages of these games.
The message is pretty strange, and it reads as follows. Break and mend, I built for breath. They hunt now, drawn to life. Not real, still keen. And frit and fraught with thought and zest and gust, no blunt woes. Dodge, duck, flash, shoot, crawl, run, crush for vile band. Cry not, try not, do not hold out. Hope no. Your life, your aim, will save those with soul.
Interesting.
While jumbled, there is meaning behind this message. It tells the story of animatronics brought to life, and warns we must escape their clutches and destroy them in order to save those with soul, e.g. humans.
Okay, so it's just warning us we need to kill the animatronics in order to live, basically.
The final secret within the sister location room is found when we look to the CD player on the left side wall. The recordings played on this device are key to understanding the full story of Security Breach as they fill us in on the important origins of the central villain Vanny and Vanessa. I have made a video listening to each of these audio logs as well as a detailed theory video explaining the backstory of these characters, so I'll leave links to those at the end of this video if you want a full understanding of events, or at least my interpretation of them. The audio takes place between Vanessa and her many therapists, who all begin disappearing under
many therapists. And you do need it after all of this.
Apparently, I'm the 4th therapist you've had, and apparently all 3 of your former therapists have gone missing. Or 2 of them are missing. Jesus. I don't want to scare you, but I have to tell you that one of them was found dead.
Oh, shit.
That doesn't seem to upset you. Well, then I guess I'll go ahead and tell you that the woman's body was pretty messed up.
Jesus.
It looked like it was mangled by machinery.
Holy shit.
That doesn't bother you either? It's all pretty strange, I think. I'm not clear on the circumstances. Apparently the police don't have any evidence.
Why is she so chill? I'd be like, bitch, I'm dropping you as a client. I am not handling this like, oh, you don't care? You are kind of smiling a little bit actually when you're thinking about how your last therapist got mangled horribly and destroyed. I'm throwing away my license and getting the hell out of here. That's what I would say, dude.
How does all of this make you feel? Maybe I should be watching my back. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
You think,
Okay,
girl?
shall we move on to something lighter?
You think, girly pop? Oh yeah, the Ashton family.
Well,
The robots at the table.
The most prominent of these are the nightmarish renditions of the service bots and a room filled with messages seemingly written by them.
This room was creepy as hell, man.
While creepy and intriguing, the real Easter egg isn't actually found in this room, but rather above it on the staircase leading back into the Pizzaplex. We come across a dinner table with what appears to be a family of bots gathered around it. When we examine these bots in more detail, they seem to be themed around a very prominent family from FNAF history
Yeah,
books.
I remember you guys mentioning in my comment section that this was like based off of the Afton family. I guess if Mimic is, yeah, like obsessed with Liam Afton and stuff too, it makes sense that they would like try to recreate like his family with these like, you know, destroyed robots and stuff.
We see around the table a bot referencing his daughter who became an accidental victim of Circus Baby and haunted her thereafter. We also see Michael Afton dressed in Freddy Fazbear's staff attire, referencing the many times he went undercover within the pizzerias in a bid to stop the madness brought about by his father's past
Mimic knows all the lore, dude.
actions. Mrs. Afton, who is often believed to be named Clara, and also has been theorized to have ended up trapped inside Ballora, can be seen represented here. William Afton sits to her right, and then a headless bot can be found beside him. This headless bot, of course, a nod to William's other son, known only as the Crying Child, who died.
Makes sense. They just make him headless. That's kind of dark. You know, they could have set up the table and made it to where it was like before he lost his head, you know what I mean? That's kind of screwed up, Mimic.
After his brother Michael shoved him inside Freddy's mouth as part of a cruel prank. These events play out during the story of FNAF 4, which takes place in the original Fazbear location, Fredbear's Family Diner, a poster for which is unlocked in the center of this very table, confirming our suspicions.
Okay, yeah, that was interesting too. Lots of different little Easter eggs and more lore and stuff. But yeah, thanks guys so much for watching this video. It's been really fun kind of like rehashing the story of Security Breach and learning so much more about these games. I didn't really think there would be that much more to learn or like that many like theories or kind of like Easter eggs to go through, but gosh, I felt like there was a lot. So I definitely feel a lot more, you know, knowledgeable about, I guess like this new storyline that's kind of developed. I'm very interested in the Mimic too. They do seem like a very formidable villain. And like I said, I feel like they're kind of perfect for a horror game because if they do get more and more powerful, it's going to kind of lead you to not be able to trust like anyone around you. You know what I mean? I feel like it might end up being kind of similar to like The Thing, where you just never know if you're talking to like a real person or not, you know what I mean? And I think that's a really cool concept, and I love that movie too, so it's cool to kind of see a similar idea in the game. But yeah, thanks guys so much for watching. Please do be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you do enjoy my videos. That kind of stuff just help out a bunch, and yeah, I will see you guys real soon.